Oh. I should not have stayed up so late last night. I am Angelique Felix, first year at New Moon Academy, a specialized private college that opened recently, and with a few lucky scholarship entries and some financial aid requests, my C average ass got accepted. Just a student going for a communications degree. Seemed easy enough walking in, but God, these classes feel like they're getting earlier. Well, shower's done. Time to go to classes. Fuck.
Jeez, Angelique, you look like shit.
Thanks, Birdie. It's always nice to have such a gentle-hearted friend.
I have never claimed to be a gentle friend. That was your own delusion.
This was my best friend and genius, Katherine Birdie Douglas. Wow, Angelique, where does Birdie come from? Comes from her having a shit ton of birds.
You're staring off into space again.
Oh! Well, I just did get sleep last night.
You binged a show, didn't you?
Don't judge me!
What are we judging? Oh, geez, Angelique, you're looking rough.
One complimenting friend is all I ask for.
You look better than a corpse.
Thanks, Perry. Perry Sims. Really chill guy. Usually keeps a low profile until he gets to know you. Horror movie fanatic, but you wouldn't tell by his attractively plain exterior. Guy could give you the shirt off his back 1 second and then tells you the creepiest campfire story you'll hear and never forget as you stay up for days after worrying that some ghost slasher of days old is gonna erupt from your toilet. Or whatever he says is haunted.
Hey, let's get seated. Turn to page 46 as we learn about nihilism.
Philosophy was never my cup of tea. No matter how many of these classes I came to, I could never really fully focus on what's going on. The teacher went on and on about how and why nihilists believe what they believe, but ironically enough, it didn't matter to me in the slightest to pay attention. I just doodled in my notebook, occasionally copying what was on the PowerPoint. Eventually, after what felt like multiple hours, class concluded, and it was my break. So I, along with Kate and Perry, went to the cafeteria to eat. I grabbed some onion rings and a cheeseburger and sat down. I immediately began eating, after forgetting to eat breakfast. Again. This burger tasted heavenly! Soon after, Birdie and Perry sat around me. They were talking about something, but I couldn't pay attention. Food was top priority. After scarfing down every crumb, I look at the other two. The conversation seemed to be pretty enticing.
You're bullshitting, Perry. That's just a rude rumor about the evening students.
I am merely spreading the news.
What are we talking and spreading?
Apparently. The evening students are like vampires and werewolves or something. I don't know. The story changes every time I ask. Some say they're ghosts, others say they're only vampires, and even more say they're like cultists.
That just sounds like people are assholes. None of those are real. Well, cultists are, but that shit wouldn't fly at a place like this. Probably.
Okay, well, Angelique, just to get rid of that little probably, how about you go out after curfew and see if there is anything? I'll buy your food for the next week to make up for anything happening.
Not gonna lie, that's a pretty good deal. Sure, I might get sent back to my dorm and scolded, but I'll get food and won't have to pay for it.
Come on, surely you are not that easily bribed.
You're on!
Son of a bitch.
With that, we shake hands and go through the rest of our day. I took a short nap with an alarm set to wake me up right when curfew started. 11 p.m. I groggily got out of bed, put on some darker clothing, and snuck out. Surprisingly easy for such a fancy university, but whatever. You shouldn't worry about blessings too much. I thought about the evening students. Sure, I've seen some of them, but none of them seemed all that different from us. So this should be an easy week of free food. Maybe I should have convinced him to buy food for 2 weeks. But hindsight is 20/20 after all. The grounds were completely empty, except for the occasional passing of a security guard. I went toward the evening classroom and looked on one of the outside walkways. 2 people were standing there. With how the one on the left was moving, it didn't seem to be a positive conversation, so I attempted to sneak closer. Each step made me sweat more and more. Hopefully this doesn't get me expelled. Don't think about that! I probably should have listened to Birdie! Oh, but oh well. I looked at them closely and my eyes went wide. The lights were dim, but from this distance I could see everything. I could tell who they were, as they both walked in front of the line of both groups of evening students. But the one on the left who growled had a tail and ears, both looked canine in nature. The other one looked paler than snow and had little fangs poking out from his upper jaw. My mind went into a panic, heart racing. I couldn't have been, more than 5 feet from them? I held my hand over my mouth to stifle any scream that dare exit my mouth. How are they real? How is this unknown? Are all of them like this? All of the evening students? How many people actually know? It can't just be me. Holy fuck! Werewolves and vampires? Are other monsters real? If so, which ones? Are they also at this school? Are some of them in the morning classes? Oh God, Angelique, you gotta calm down! My vision, it's getting pretty blurry. Just breathe! What happened? Wait, that's the students that were talking outside. Ow. My head feels like it got hit with a cinder block, but why? What were they talking about? I remember they were talking about something and then I passed out, but why? Oh, come on, brain. I was super close to them, but they didn't see me. Wait. Now I remember. Oh God, I remember! They're monsters! One had a tail and animal ears, and the other had fangs. Okay, Angie, don't move. If there's one thing you're good at, it's being dead in your bed. So, just remain absolutely still. Never, ever move when there are 2 monsters right by your bed. Speaking of that, where was I? I opened one eye slightly to see the 2 standing beside my bed arguing about something.
I'm just saying this could cause a lot of problems for both of our kinds. If she blabs to everyone, then everything we have worked for is out the window.
Oh God, they're gonna kill me to keep me quiet. Please, no. I have so much to live for. I mean, I haven't done much with it so far, but I will. Please don't kill me. God, I want to beg, but so far they don't suspect me to be awake.
Always so worried. You forget that people have to believe her. Believing that vampires and werewolves exist when, to majority of humanity, we are just creatures of pop culture will be a hard fight. But we should talk less. The stupid human is awake.
I couldn't help it. Hearing those words spoken as if I'm nothing but a nuisance made my eyes shoot wide open. I swallowed hard and looked at the 2. The wolf boy's brown eyes looked at me. He seemed to try to maintain a more dominant stance. His tail still and face contorted into a snarl. All he had to do was bare his teeth. He'd hit every check mark in the "if you see these signs from a wolf, run" pamphlet. The vampire just looked annoyed and disgusted.
Why were you outside past curfew?
His voice was demanding, but I wouldn't say, mean. Either way, I jumped out of my skin. These were the first words spoken to me, and yeah, I didn't know how to speak to a werewolf and vampire.
The dog asked you a question, human.
Give me a break, dude. I just found out you exist. Oh, fuck. Okay. Angie, just use that charm that people probably say about you. Friend, dared me to? They looked at one another, visibly disappointed in me. Honestly, even though I was facing my soon-to-be killers, I couldn't blame the disappointment.
So you broke campus rules because friends told you to?
You could have been hurt if it wasn't for the agreement.
God, you're stupid. Just talk about everything.
She's already seen us, you winged rat.
So why when we see you earlier in the day, do we not see anything? I jumped when both of their attention shot back to me. Simon let out an annoyed sigh.
Our more unique features are shown only at night.
Why's that?
How should we know? We didn't choose this. Why do humans not have a natural sense of not doing what might get them into trouble? Why are humans just instinctively idiots?
Why are bats always screeching about what annoys them?
Why do dogs smell like they roll around in their own scat?
Oh, fuck off, Blood Breath. Ugh, I'm gonna go and tell the headmaster she's awake.
A part of me wanted to be surprised that the headmaster knew, but honestly, that made sense. The only question was why vampires and werewolves were here.
Always immediately obeying. He calls himself the alpha of his pack.
How many of you are there? The vampire turned and looked at me.
You ask a lot of questions without introducing yourself or even asking our names. Probably afraid that we were going to kill you. Arrogant of you to think you are worth feasting on.
I think I was just insulted. I'm Angelique.
Simon, I don't quite consider it a pleasure to meet you. Our species haven't been the most kind to one another.
And his name?
That is his job, to introduce himself. No way am I lowering myself to introduce a dog.
The more I spoke with him, the less I was scared. Instead, I was becoming irritated. Dude is a grade A asshole. After a few moments of silence, neither of us wanted to speak to the other. Mr. Kennedy, the headmaster of the academy, a middle-aged man with graying brown hair, walked in. He smiled a gentle smile, but I could tell from his eyes he wasn't exactly pleased by the situation.
Miss Angelique Felix, I cannot say that I'm exactly pleased to meet you here. However, first things first, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, sir. Great! The nerves that became absent have returned. This is the man who could kick me out and continue on. He nodded and went to the office sink, grabbing a nearby cup, and filled it with water, and gave it to me. Is this like a good cop, bad cop routine? Well, regardless, I was pretty thirsty, so I gave in and drank the water, nodding my thanks to the headmaster.
How much do you know?
His tone was even and calm. In no way did I feel like I was being interrogated, even though I was completely being interrogated. Werewolves and vampires exist? He waited a moment to see if there was anyone. I racked my brain to come up with something extra. They don't want to kill us? My uncertainty was still very present. The headmaster chuckled a little before giving his response.
No, they are not here to kill us. The opposite, actually. They want to be assimilated into society. A lot of bloodshed on all sides has led to a time where werewolves and vampires are slowly becoming an extinct people. Hunters trained to kill vampires and werewolves have finally been disbanded. And now this school is the next step. We want to prove to all of the race's leaders and high councils that our species can interact with one another in harmony. That all of the instincts and necessities can be maintained in a more humane manner. Unfortunately, only the human race is hesitant. They just aren't ready yet.
As he talked, his tone became somber. This seems to be something that he has been involved in for a long time, but how could he blame humans for being scared? These are monsters! Monsters that want peace, sure, but monsters regardless. Even as I thought that, though, I could feel the sadness in his voice, and even looking at the werewolf and Simon, I could see their faces of young men trying to remain stony and emotionless.
So now, I have a question for you, Miss Felix. Now that you know the truth, what will you do? I believe it can go without saying that if you do cause a scene about this, you will be expelled immediately. But if you can keep this quiet, you are more than welcome to assist in our efforts. Or just go about your regular school life, pretending none of this ever happened.
I opened my mouth, and he immediately put a hand up to stop me.
How about you sleep on it first? It is a lot of information to work through to just blurt out an answer. Sleep on it for a while. When you are prepared to give your answer, I will be in my office.
He stood and walked away. The two young men looked back and also walked out of the room, leaving me alone. All these thoughts swirling in my head. The headmaster was right. I needed to plan this out carefully. I groaned and laid back down. This sucks, man! All I wanted to do was go to college, graduate, get a job! Now I know that werewolves, vampires, and whatever else the fuck is out there are real. I stood and walked back to my room, thinking what the hell I could do moving forward. It had been 2 days since I found out the truth, and now I'm sitting here in the cafeteria, poking at what I can only assume is mashed potatoes. I nearly fell out of my chair after Kate waved her hand in my face.
Oh, good, you're alive. You've been quiet the last 2 days, Angie. What's going on? Are you angry at us for making you go out on your own the other day? Did something happen?
The actual, sincere apology in her eyes made it hard to not tell her the truth. That the rumors of vampires and werewolves were 100% accurate. I stifled my morals down my throat a bit. I fell, and 2 of the night students helped me. Just been recovering from a headache is all.
You got hurt?
Wait, so you got help by the night students? So, what'd you find out?
Of course Perry would focus on that. Though anything with a wager attached would be of importance, I guess. I smiled a little. I guess there will be some benefit for lying. Technically, I owe him a week of food, but due to the nature of everything, I think I'm owed some good. Normal humans. No fangs, no howling, no fur, claws, tails, or anything of the sort. I've never seen him deflate before, but this lack of interesting news seemed to just about kill him.
God damn it. I was so looking forward to talking with the vampire chick or something.
I mean, you could just go to the occult club. They have some vampire-looking people there.
Never again.
As Perry stared off into space, remembering whatever the situation was, Kate turned back to me.
So you got hurt? What happened?
I told you I fell. Tripped over a tree root and hit my head on the ground.
Did you get checked out?
Nurse said I was fine, just a little head injury, no concussion or anything serious. Kate relaxed and hit Perry on the chest, knocking the wind out of him.
What?
Don't you owe her something?
Right. So, a week of food it is.
He held out his hand and I accepted the handshake. Next time, make a bet that's not gonna screw you over. I picked up my tray, dumped the remains, and left the cafeteria. I made a beeline straight to the headmaster's office. I knocked on the door and heard him faintly say,
"Come in."
Opening the door revealed a relatively monotonous office. A single bookshelf on the right of his desk as he sits writing some notes for who knows what. He looked up and gestured to a chair in front of him.
I will be honest. I thought it would be a bit longer before I would see you. Is this about the other day?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to know, what could I do if I accepted to assist?
You would be an ambassador. From the look of concern on your face, I think you are associating it to like a United States ambassador. You won't need to do any deep dive study into international law. In this case, an ambassador would essentially be someone who knows the truth about vampires and werewolves, and is actively helping bridge the gap by learning about the other species and helping me out once you graduate. You'll be a member of staff and full benefits.
Okay, well that's tempting. Like, shit. Know the truth of werewolves and vampires and then BAM! Job after college. Granted, I actually have to be serious since this is the relationship between 3 species. As if seeing the gears turn, the headmaster cleared his throat to regain my attention.
First, you should talk to the 2 leaders of the school's pack and coven.
Okay. Who are they?
I wouldn't worry too much. I will let them know that you'll meet them tonight in the courtyard. I'm sure the meeting will go fine. Now go, study, and get rest. I wouldn't worry too much. I will let them know that you'll meet them tonight in the courtyard. I'm sure the meeting will go fine. Now go, study, and get rest.
I stood up and walked outside and let out a breath. So now what? I'm going to dedicate my life to this? As much as I would have liked to have think that the idea of having a career waiting for me after college relieved me, it honestly made it more intimidating. Like, what if I just fail at this? Though, it didn't feel like it would change my classes, so I guess if this doesn't work out, my initial plan can still move forward. Guess I'll just have to wait until tonight to see. Oh, come on! It's dark and cold! Where the hell are they? People looking at me would probably think I was going on a date. I made sure to look my best to talk to these leaders. I didn't know what kind of people they were, but I wanted to make sure that they got a good first impression. If they were to actually show up, I swear, if I'm being pranked by the staff, I'll try and figure out if that's grounds for a lawsuit, because this is just annoying at this point.
All you have to remember is to stand up straight and look at them in the eye. Don't intimidate, though. Humans are fearful creatures by nature.
I heard a voice approaching, feminine. I looked around only to see the werewolf I had met a few days earlier with a woman next to him. She was shapely and a couple of inches taller than he was. She walked with purpose, almost as if every step wasn't wasted, while the young man seemed a bit more meek standing next to her. He did straighten up as they neared, however, looking just as purposeful as his companion.
Oh god, not you again.
Oh, you've met.
The woman looked at me again, and she had a small, confident smile. Before she could say anything, another voice was heard behind me.
So, Miss I'm Afraid to Be Eaten is now wanting to be our ambassador. I hope you and the headmaster are joking.
I stumbled forward and nearly fell again. I turned around to see Simon, the dickbag, standing behind me. No, I think I actually want to try.
Trying isn't good enough.
His tone was harsh, not the apathetic annoyance it usually holds.
Our races are depending on people like the headmaster and a handful of others to bring some kind of peace between our three species, or we'll be wiped out. It isn't something you just try and shrug off. We are leaders of the small population at this school. Even the dogs would agree that trying isn't good enough.
What the bat is trying to say is, try is not a word that brings confidence. We've done our own hunting of your species, but even after we've agreed that humans are off limits, humans still try to kill us on sight. Our instincts are not nearly so overpowering as to be feral. Are there bad seeds? Of course.
But we handle those with their own packs and tribes. Just like you handle your own criminals. Albeit with a little more finality.
You mean you kill?
We can't have a bad seed ruin what we are trying to build. So we end them. We aren't proud of it either, but if it is for the survival of our species, we are willing to put aside emotions.
Their eyes were filled with conviction. I tried to be disgusted by this realization, but honestly, it made sense. Of course they would be desperate to prevent any more eyes on them than necessary. Hell, they were hiding out on campus with no one knowing outside of staff. I want to help you all. I don't know what I can do, but I want to help. What can I do to help you? The three students looked at one another, having some sort of silent conversation with their stares.
Understand us. Learn about how we do things. It's not going to be easy. There are some things, especially in the werewolf lifestyle, that would seem wrong or harsh, but it's all instinctual. That we can't see it as wrong because it's part of physiology.
Yana looked at me again. It was a combination of dominant intensity, daring me to ask questions or to criticize, and also an apologetic feel to it. I will do my best to learn as much as I can. I may, be confused or shocked, but I will do my best to just, roll with it, I guess. Kuro looked at me curiously. He stepped in front of me and looked in my eyes.
Say it again. Word for word.
Either he's fucking with me, or this is one of those things that Yana was talking about. Kuro's brown eyes remained unblinking as he stared into mine, though he didn't have the intensity that Yana had. I will do my best to learn as much as I can. I may be confused or shocked, but I will do my best to just roll with it, I guess. He stayed there for a few moments, more with his tail swayed back and forth, and he backed up.
Well, you've earned our favor. We'll take our leave.
Yana was the first to start walking, and Kuro turned around.
Don't just roll with it. Questions are important.
He followed Yana after saying that. The vampire stepped into my view, snapping my attention to him.
So, I am leaving it to you to make me and my people look good? Better than nothing, I guess. To be honest, I think that this is a completely worthless endeavor, though it's not my call. I'm the leader of this coven, but I have to answer to a higher power like everyone else. Annoying as it is, they do believe that this school can make a difference. So, listen quickly and listen well. Yes, we drink blood. It's all donated. No, I don't want to feast on you. That's disgusting. I have standards. Now, if you are done wasting my time with this meeting, I have a new member of the coven coming in today, and I am required to show them the hierarchy of the dorm. Goodbye, Ambassador.
God, this guy exhausts me with his ego. I watched the pair of werewolves and the vampire walk in different directions, leaving me in the courtyard with just one thought. What the fuck am I doing? I mean, sure, now that I've actually accepted this proposal, it's kind of cool, but what the fuck? I groaned. Tonight's a drinking kind of night.